This is the SHOKZ OpenFit from a company that got famous for making open ear headphones, especially one that have a band on your back. So what makes these special is that the OpenFits are not going to have that band. It's going to be something that's going to loop around your ears, as you can see right here. And because it does that, each bud weighs about 8.3 grams, and the case is going to come in at 57 grams. So the overall weight here is relatively light when you compare it to other headphones, especially at this size. But the secret is that if you're looking for great active noise cancellation, well, these are definitely not the right earbuds for you. What they are delivering is that they're going to deliver very solid awareness and situational awareness, as well as the ability to hear what's going on around you. So it is constant ambient mode because there's nothing blocking the inside of your eardrum. So what does that mean in terms of real world use? Let me describe. If you're walking down the street and you have these on, or you're running down the street and you have these on, you're going to be able to hear that car coming at you. But the tricky part is that you're going to have the volume very high to overcome the ambient noise around you anyway. So there are some discrepancies, there are some pros and cons of wearing this OpenFit design that is different from wearing these, which are going to be the OpenRun Pros. So let's get into it, let's describe it, and let's show you why you might want to consider this for your next open ear earbud headphone unit. It kind of plays like you have an open ear headphone that just goes on top of your ears, except it's not going to be like an ear cup. So it's a very interesting experience overall. And if you've never tried something like this, it sounds a lot like headphones, except it's open. So I just put the OpenFits on, and let me describe the fit for you. Depending on your ear shape, well, that's going to greatly impact if this is going to be comfortable on your ears. So for my ear shape, the speaker is going to be a little higher than the hole or my ear canal. That is, when you first find them on, it is really weird because if I'm running, you can feel this kind of floppy effect that's happening. But I did find that even in rigorous exercise, including burpees, high intensity interval training, that the ear OpenFits stay on your ear. I didn't have any complaints of them staying on. I also didn't have complaints of them getting wet. They, for all intensive purposes for the gym, they are very, very good. So overall battery life on these are going to be 7 hours inside of the OpenFits, and you get an additional 21 hours inside the case, giving you 20 hours of total battery life. Another cool thing about the OpenFits is that they use AI voice detection. So they're going to be able to separate your voice along with the ambient noise around you. This works great for a lot of different applications, including if you're in the car, you're walking down the street, it's not too crazy. But if you're somewhere where it's really wild, let's say you're on a subway station, you are going to take the train, you're at the airport, and there's a lot of ambient noise, this will have a difficult time because it's going to start distorting your voice, because guess what? It's using AI voice detection to filter out your voice with the ambient noise around you. The OpenFits are using something called the Dolphin Arc Ear Hook. So what that means is that you're going to be able to adjust it on the fly, and then it's going to return back to its original position, just giving a lot of memory. And after using this, it always returns back to normal. I do like this, whatever this is, the Dolphin. What's cool about the OpenFits is that you can adjust the EQ inside of the iOS or Android app. I've tried it on both, and yes, you can adjust the EQ inside of the Android app as well. Right now, I'm listening to a little bit of Killers, Mr. Brightside, and this song still sounds very good with these earbuds. Now, the trick is that I've adjusted it inside of the app. So here is my Shokz app. And inside the Shokz app, it's just going to connect. So now that I've taken it off dark mode, you can see everything happening inside of the app. And we have it on standard for EQ. I'm going to put it on bass boost. Definitely improved. Is it better than the OpenRun Pros? I'm not sure. The OpenRun Pros are very good in terms of the bone conduction. I hear this earbud through my finger. It's kind of crazy. Even though my finger is blocking it, you can still have a lot of volume coming through your skin, and that's something cool. So again, one more time, let me show you what I mean. I can put my finger inside my ear, and I still hear a lot of what the music sounds like. These are going to be coming with 18x11 carbon fiber drivers, making them even lighter on your ear. And even if you compare them to the OpenRun Pros, I will say the OpenFits are going to be slightly lighter. When you're looking at the bass, these are coming with the proprietary open bass algorithm versus on the OpenRun Pros that are using bone conduction as well as some of that OpenFit proprietary bass technology. So what does that mean, or how does that translate to you? Because these are going to be actually OpenRun Pros are going to be closer to your ear canal, so you're going to be resting here. I do find that the OpenRun Pros and the OpenRuns are going to have better bass than the OpenFits. So I have the OpenFits on, and I'm exercising outside. Now, the great thing about it is I can hear almost everything around me. There's people playing soccer. I can hear the kids playing behind me while I'm listening to music and also talking to you. The biggest drawback is to really hear the music that you're listening to very closely or well, you need to crank up the volume. You don't have active noise cancellation, but the volume's so loud, can you really hear everything? Because it does zone out all the noise around you, at least more so than the bone conduction technology inside of the OpenRun Pros. So if you want to see what the biggest knock on them are, is that actually, if you look right here, if you don't have them positioned perfectly, there's going to be a gap. And that gap affects how good the music sounds. So you actually need to position them pretty close to your ear, especially to the ear canal, because if there's any space, it just feels a little insecure, even though they are secure. And I haven't lost them. I've been jumping up and down, walking around and jumping with them, but I haven't lost them yet. But just that little gap makes it feel like a little bit questionable. Also, touch controls is pretty finicky. As you see, I'm trying to play and pause it, but it's not as easy. Long pressing is very easy, but even that, you have to make sure you press in the right place. The drawback will be is that on the touch controls, you can either select going backward or forward in terms of the songs, like forward one song or back one song, or you can control the volume. You can't do both, which is something that I wish they gave a little bit more touch or gesture sensors so that we wouldn't have to worry about that. Because on the OpenRun Pros, you can just tap around it and it would skip, but here you got to touch the actual yeah, you gotta there are some quality issues where touch controls as well as the fit, because of it's a universal fit, there's not other loops that you can use. Depending on your ear shape, they might not be the best for you. So I got the OpenFits on and I don't have to take them off. As I get into the car, I can hear everything. It is almost like I don't even have them on. They're just working while I'm driving. They also use something called direct pitch technology, and direct pitch technology uses the principle of phase cancellation to enhance audio quality. When sound waves with equal amplitude opposite phases and same distance meet, they cancel each other out, reducing sound and pressure. So what does that mean for you? Imagine you have a speaker that's going to be connected to your ear. What the speaker is doing is that it is phasing out all of the ambient noise so that you're going to better hear what's being produced, at least audio-wise, in terms of the speaker built inside the OpenFits. So that's the best way. It is really, you got to think, I'm carrying or listening to a speaker that's attached to the top of my ear, and that speaker has direct pitch, so that is blocking out and canceling ambient noise, so I'm going to better hear what the OpenFits are playing. The volume does not get as loud as on the OpenRuns and the OpenRun Pros, but regardless of that, what you'll find is that when you're using this in the real world, you got to crank up the volume just so you can hear what you're listening to. And because of that, you're basically going to be listening to music at a louder volume overall on the OpenFits than on the OpenRuns. In conclusion, the OpenFits are really good for people who want to be more aware of their environment. Maybe you're running with your kid, maybe you don't want to get hit by a car, maybe you just need headphones that are going to be shaped this way that you want to use for the gym because you want to hear and have discussions with your friends and not have to remove your earbuds. So as a gym headphone, the OpenFits are going to be a solid choice. They really fall between something like this, which is going to be like on the Tozo Open Reels, that have a similar design but don't have that direct pitch, and something like these, which are going to be bone conduction, which are going to have that speaker placed closer to your ear canal. Each one has their benefits and their drawbacks, but the OpenFit's biggest drawback is going to be on price. So in terms of earbuds or headphones that you're going to be primarily using at the gym, the OpenFits are going to be more expensive relative to its competitors, because you have things like the Beats Fit Pro, which are going to be relatively the same price, if not cheaper. You have things like the Power Beats, which are great for the gym, but also relatively to the OpenFits, about the same price. You have the OpenRuns and the OpenRun Pros. Again, a little bit cheaper or at the same price. And you're going to be getting into even more discounted ranges like the Tozos, the Sonys, the JBLs that are going to be in that sub $100 camp. So can I wholeheartedly recommend them to you? Well, no, because they're good. They do a lot of things well. Call quality is pretty good. The audio is pretty good. The fit is pretty good. But you might find these are not as open as you think because they have that direct pitch technology and because you have to have the volume high. I'm talking like pretty much maximum high. If there's a lot of noise around you just to hear what you're listening to, that means when I was at the gym, at the regular gym, if the gym is playing music overhead, I have to put this at 100% volume just to hear what's playing on the OpenFits. And that's a big no-no for me because the whole point for me was that I don't want to not listen or not hear what's happening around me. If I have the volume all the way up, I can't hear what's all around me. And that means I do prefer, and I still prefer, the OpenRun Pros. I think the bass here is better. I think I can have better ambient awareness and situational awareness with these, and they stay on my ears better because of the band. Some people might not like the band, but I think the band really makes them more stable, especially if you're doing things like high intensity workouts, burpees, running, anything where you're kind of jumping up and down. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is David with the French Glow, showcasing to you our Shokz OpenFits. I'll catch you next time. Bye, bye, bye.